Alright, so here's my fifth example on finding the area between curves, and it's probably going to be the last one. I may do some uh, in the future, some more, but for right now this will probably be the last one. So let's see what it says. It says find the area of the region bounded by the graphs of x equal 3 minus y squared and x equal y plus 1. Alright, so this one's a little bit different. Notice here we have, in the other ones we had the x was squared, but here we have the y squared. So we need to sketch a graph. Alright, and so let's put some marks here. Alright, so let's graph this one first. Well, this is a parabola, and when the x is squared, the parabola is either going to open up or down. When the y is squared, it's going to open to the right or to the left. Well, if the number in front of y squared is positive, it's going to open to the right. If it's a negative, it's going to open to the left. And you can see if we plug 0 in, we have the point 3, 0. If we plug 0 in for y, x would be 3, so there's that point. And where's this graph going to cross the y-axis? Well, you can take the 3 minus y squared, set it equal to 0, and so we get y is plus or minus square root of 3. So it's going to cross somewhere between 1 and 2 and negative 1 and negative 2. Alright, so our graph is going to look something like this. Okay, now let's take a look at the graph of the other one, x equal y plus 1. Well, we can simply make a xy table, and if y is 0, x is 1. If y is 1, x is 2. And I guess we can go ahead and do negative 1. So if y is negative 1, x would be 0. Okay, so if we plot these points, let's see, 2, 1. Now, it might be on that graph, I'm not sure. Okay, but we'll find out in a minute. And 0, negative 1, and so this graph will look something like this. And the area that we're looking for is this one. Alright. Now, we need to find where these graphs intersect. So we need to know the x value of this point and the x value of this point. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, not the x value, but actually we'll be finding the y value because we're going to set this equal to this. And so we'll actually be solving for y. Alright, so I have 3 minus y squared equals y plus 1. And so get everything to one side. If I move this over, that'll make my y squared positive. So I get y squared plus y minus 2 equals 0. And that's nice that this factors. So plus 2 minus 1. So y is negative 2, or y equals 1. So this actually intersects at y equal negative 2, and it intersects here at y equal 1. So this one's a little bit different than the first ones I worked. Okay, notice with the values that we found were y values. Okay, so our limits of integration are y. Okay, they're the y values. So when I set up my integral, my area is going to go from negative 2 to 1. Oh, sorry. From negative 2 to 1. Now, and if you watch the other videos, remember it was the function on top minus the function on bottom. But we're going this way with it. Okay, so it's going to be the outermost function minus the innermost function. Okay, the outer function minus the inner function. So it's going to be the 3 minus y squared minus this one, y plus 1. Okay, and this is with respect to y. Okay, and so now we have negative 2 to 1. Well, let's just kind of clean this up a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not 3 minus y. That's 3 minus y squared. I left the 2 off. So that's going to be negative y squared minus y plus 2, and I'm integrating with respect to y. Alright, so let's take the antiderivative. So that's going to give me negative 1/3 y cubed minus 1/2 y squared plus 2y, and that's from negative 2 to 1. Okay. So now we can plug all this in. So that gives me negative 1/3 times 1 cubed, that's a negative, minus 1/2 times 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus, and then remember all this has to be in parentheses because it's minus the whole thing. So now I plug the negative 2 in. Negative 1/3 times negative 2 cubed minus 1/2 times negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2. Okay. Alright, and then when we do the arithmetic, we're going to end up with 9/2, and that would be your answer. Alright, so that's the last video for now on finding the area between curves. I might do some in the future, but like I said, for now that'll probably be all. But I hope these videos have helped. Go back and watch the other ones on this area between curves, and you can go back and watch, and you can go watch the videos on the other topics I have. Alright, thanks.